Hello everyone, this is Elizabeth, aka Poetry in Motion, and welcome back to the midweek roundup. I forgot last week, so that's my bad. I've had a lot going on. I recently just got a new job, so I've been doing, this past week I did a lot of those online trainings, those online trainings where you're just like completely brain dead at the end of them and you're just like, do I even have a brain in here? It's nuts. And some of it I was like, I'm not even going to be using this for my part of the job, so why am I here? But then I also had a family member move in this week, so we had to make space for him to live and everything. So this past week was absolutely nuts, and sorry that I forgot midweek roundup last week. I promise that if I have to skip out on it for a week, I will try to remember to let you guys know, because yeah, that's not usually my style. So yeah, my bad. Okay, so this week's chapter, I pushed some buttons. I pushed a lot of buttons on everybody except Toby. He was pretty much unconscious for the whole thing. But I pushed some buttons on Ellis. They come back to their ship and they're just like, I left you for 5 minutes. What happened here, and why did it happen here, and why did you guys let it happen? So I pressed some buttons on Ellis. Poor Nana. I've put her through a lot, and I promise that it's gonna get better, but yeah, poor thing. Poor sweet cinnamon roll. And most importantly, and most pertinently, I pressed buttons, so many buttons on Din, that this bounty has brought up so much that he has been repressing. He's been repressing, what if Silent had lived? He's been repressing, am I gonna actually be able to provide for my family? He's been suppressing that flashback. He's been suppressing that for a while, and that's gonna get expanded on a little bit later. But just this poor man, poor Tin Can Man. I put him through a lot this week, and I would be lying to you if I said that it was gonna let up, but it's not letting up for a little while. When it gets back to Navarro, it'll probably let up a little, but yeah. I wish I could just look at Din in the face and apologize, but yeah, it's he's gonna be a little angsty for a little while, but you know, hopefully he's coming up on a little bit of a break with his lovely Omera. He'll have a little bit of a break. And so will you, because I am planning on posting a really fluffy one-shot, either before Sanctuary or like a little bit after, maybe sometime between now and Sunday, probably. Yeah, not only is Din going to eventually get a break, but I want to keep giving you guys breaks, because it's rough. Sanctuary's got a lot of pretty intense conflict going on in it. And I just want to make sure that y'all have a little bit of a break. And Din has a little bit of a break, and Omera has a break, and the kids have a break, That's what the beach one shot was about, and that's what this little thing that I came up with is about, but I'm not going to tell you what it actually is about. You'll just have to read it. So, that's enough of me rambling. How about we go ahead and get into some comments? All right. Oh, Sheena, honey, I have not had time to rehearse this, so I hope it's satisfying for you. Oh, Lord. All right, here we go. Hedis of Diviandich Diaja Buduhaha ha Bao Shidhifijao. Yeah! Okay, now that I've summoned every Sims that has ever existed, how about we go over here? I honestly don't really know how to word right now. Girl, same. But this chapter was amazing, and I'm so glad you were able to overcome that writer's block and post this. Well, for the writer's block, you have Nikki Bogwater to thank for that. I was trying to write it. I had the dialogue all written out. I knew exactly what needed to happen. I could see it in my head. But the words weren't happening, which is weird because usually it's the kind of prose, kind of paragraph forms that I have a lot easier time with. You know, I'm it comes easier to me to be in the interior of a character rather than in the exterior with dialogue. So I, had the script all written out. I was like, great, I know exactly what everyone's gonna say, but what are they doing? So I messaged Nikki. I was like, girl, help. And so we talked and we chatted, and she was like, all right, let's step back, tell me where everyone is, tell me what everybody's doing, and we just kind of worked with it. And so, yeah, you have Nikki Bogwater to thank for this week's chapter. And by the way, you also have her to thank for her fantastic artwork this week. It's so good. It's so funny. I've got it put in the description, but oh, it kind of focuses on poor Ellis and all the things that I put them through. Because, if you walked into your house and you noticed that someone had taken an EMP and set it off in there, so now all of your electrical stuff is gone, wouldn't you flip out a little bit? So, yeah, that's poor Ellis. Alright, so Sheena continues. As for a fluffy one-shot, grabby hands, well, yeah, that's coming. Give it a couple days, I promise. By the way, what happened to Midweek Roundup this week? I assume you were just busy and that's perfectly valid. I'm just curious. Thank you, Sheena, for your understanding. I really appreciate it because that's not usually. I only realized I forgot it when you mentioned it in your comment, and I was like, oh shit, damn it. So yeah, I'm just grateful for you guys for your understanding of that. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for all that beautiful jazz. All right, here we go. Let's go over to Kit. Kit 1. Makes you wonder who this client is. Exactly. That's the point. That's the point there. Yeah, is Baz lying? Is he telling the truth? Is there some element of truth? Is it all truth? Who's the client? I mean, do they need to have a name? Like, all those questions are perfectly valid. And yeah, they'll eventually get an answer, but not right now. I love how he has Omera whispering into his ear, so angsty and heartbreaking that he would think of how Omera should be with her dead husband. Well, our poor Tin Can Man, that's what I like to call him, but poor Din, he has a terrible self-esteem when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, when it comes to thinking of himself as a warrior, as a Mandalorian, he's like, hell yeah, I'm competent, I know what I'm doing, I'm good at what I'm doing, I'm a great bounty hunter, I'm a great warrior, this is great, and I'm really good at this. But when it comes to, being with his family, he loves with every ounce of himself, to the point where he's like, if they were going to be happier if Silent had lived, if Omera's husband had, not been killed on Alderaan, if he had lived and if they would be happier, then I wish that were the case. He even goes so far as to think, if they would be happier and safer if I wasn't a warrior, if I wasn't born this way, then if I wasn't born to this life, then I wish I weren't, But Omera is always really good at pulling him back into that, pulling him back and saying, yes, you are enough, and I have chosen you, and I don't regret that choice for a second, So that's something that she's told him several times, and something that she has told him to remember always, if he ever has those kind of thoughts of, I'm not worthy of this beautiful family that I now have. She tells him, think about this. Remember what I am telling you now. I love you. I don't care what happened before. All I care about is you right now. So, yeah, it's Omera's kind of like his guardian angel in that kind of circumstance. And at this point he's just like, I just want to go home and hold her and have her hold me. I just want to go home, you know? And it's going to be a couple more chapters before he gets to do that, but he does get to do it. So, it's going to be good. All right, let's skip over to Calico, or Calico 321. Good read. They've got some time to fill now. Yes, they do. A couple days. Poor Din having everyone questioning him. Guy's got too much on his shoulders. And yeah, he does. He's got a lot on his shoulders. He's got, these people all questioning him, like, you didn't pat him down? And it's like, of course I patted him down. I'm not an idiot, And then Baz poking at his PTSD, like, that definitely brought up a lot of stuff that he hasn't really fully unpacked yet. Needing to provide for his family, that is a huge thing on his shoulders that he takes it so seriously, and he is a perfectionist about it. He wants to provide the best for his family, and he puts so much pressure on himself for that, and it's a wonder that he hasn't cracked yet, but hopefully when he gets back, Omera can kind of lift a little bit of that, his friends can kind of lift a little bit more of that. But yeah, tensions were high in this chapter, and yeah, we all just kind of got reminded that Din's got it rough right now, emotionally, and in his life too. But yeah. All right, so I actually had a couple comments on the Journey On, which I wanted to read because I loved them. And I'm thinking about maybe adding a little bit more to the Journey On at some point, but I'm not completely sure. Okay, Gwen Katana commented on Bonds, which is the 7th chapter of the Journey On. I love how you write Mandamera. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful how you show how patient Omera is with Din. I love how she explains that she loves him for his heart. She sees what we see in Din, a warrior with a good heart. All the one-shots here are lovely. Keep up the great work, and I can't wait for more from you in Sanctuary. Well, thank you so much, Gwen. It means so much to me that you've taken the time to comment on this story. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Omera's patience with Din is something that is going to be very important in the coming chapters. And that's something that, even at the end of this past chapter, something that he relied on was remembering how patient and how kind and how loving Omera is with everything that he is. He's a warrior, he's a bounty hunter, he's done things that he regrets. But Omera doesn't see that. She sees him, So that's something that Din at some points kind of has to cling to. Like, even though I don't think I'm worthy, Omera does. For some reason, Omera thinks I'm worthy, and I have to cling on to that. So I really wanted to express the patience that she has with him. I really wanted to make sure that that was front and center. So thank you very much, Gwen, for that comment. And then finally, Gwen also commented on the last chapter of The Journey On, where Winta asks Din if it's okay that she calls him Daddy. More kudos to you on this chapter. Thank you. Winta and Din's relationship is portrayed so well here. I'm a sucker for found family feels. And see, that's the biggest element that I love about writing this series, is bringing out the complexities and bringing out the entire new set of circumstances that surrounds finding a family as opposed to being born in a family. You know, it's complicated. It's not just, as easy as falling in line with everybody else. There's a lot of kind of bumps to it. Like Winta when she was like, I don't know if it's okay that I'm calling you dad because you're not technically my dad, but I don't know about it. Um, it's very important to kind of not just acknowledge the great stuff about found family, because found family is one of my favorite tropes, but also exploring the difficulties of being in a found family. It's like, I don't know how to maneuver this, because that's something that came up with Omera for me as well. Like, when writing Omera, I didn't want to have her put a label on Din. Din's not her husband, not yet. Anyway, at least I think not yet. You know. But anyway, she's not calling him her husband. She's not calling him, her lover because they haven't even undressed in front of each other yet. Din is very much, he's not interested in that yet. He's not at that point yet. And so yeah, he's not really her lover either. And boyfriend feels way too casual, way too young, I guess. But she doesn't. So Omera still really doesn't know what to call Din. He's just there for her. And that's one of the difficulties as well, is Omera not being able to really put a label on it. Not being able to put a finger on it. But yeah, I'm really glad that, having that found family kind of vibe has been successful, and that exploration of the kind of difficult parts of it has been cool too. I kind of rambled there for a while. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, anyway. Oh, this week, guys, In the Aftermath hit 3,000 hits. And I'm freaking out about it. I was just like, oh my god, it's at 3,000. Can you believe, it's been clicked on 3,000 times, and I was freaking out about it. It's just so. Thank you guys so much for reading my story and reading all of the work that's come out of it. When I first started this in January, I was just bored. Like, I thought I was just gonna write one little short book and be done, and then it just exploded into this whole little canon that I've made, and it's just so incredible, and I wouldn't have gotten here without your guys' support. So thank you so much. Keep commenting on my stuff. I read every single one, and I try to reply to every single one. Thank you for leaving kudos, and thank you for sharing it on places like on Tumblr and stuff. I don't think I can express how much I appreciate you and how much I love hearing from you and how much I love knowing that you're just there and you exist, Thank you so much. It means the world. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna go get back to writing this week's chapter. Y'all keep fighting the good fight, and I will see you next week.